What is up, everybody? It's Matt Johnson. This is Real Estate Uncensored. Welcome back. This is the place where you get actionable ideas, insight, and inspiration to turn your real estate business into a life of freedom. And we've got a couple of phenomenal guests with us today. We've got Neeley. We've got Misty. We're going to chat with them about what their experience has been, both as a new agent. We're also going to talk about, from a broker and team leader perspective, why they switched over to the broker they're with now, who has this amazing family culture, and we're going to talk about kind of what things they do to reinforce that culture. So I don't care if you're a new agent, I don't care if you're a broker, a team leader, or you own and manage a team. You get something coming up in this episode that's for you. We will bring those lovely ladies in a second. First of all, my esteemed colleague, the Junior Grandmaster himself, is in the co-pilot seat. I don't know if he's dressed for the occasion, but he's here at least. Greg McDaniel.
Shut up. I'm always dressed for the occasion. I just don't have any pants on, man. I have to get warm the upper body.
You're dressed for an occasion. That is not the same thing. You're dressed for an occasion. Okay.
The occasion. Matt, beer makes people happy. We make people happy. I'm putting the two together. Don't be a dick. Okay? I got to tell you, seriously, all joking aside, I'm not wearing pants. But I want to talk to you guys about, I'm having opportunities to talk with people that are coming over to our EXP team. And Matt, some of the conversations I've been having lately, which I haven't been able to tell you about, the human beings that listen to our show are epic. I mean, they're such good human beings.
We do have a lot of dogs that listen to the show, so I'm glad the human beings that are listening are good.
Well, those are all your relatives. Come on.
Wow. Greg hits back with a zinger. I love it.
Ding! Right hook to the jaw.
That's right.
No, and some of the people that some of the amazing people are on our show today, guys. Neeley and Misty were some of our very original listeners 3 years ago when Matt and I were like blind men in a dark room, bumping, hitting walls, had no clue what we were doing. Somehow they found value in us and they stuck with us, and we are now here 3 years later. We're hot off the trail. Matt and I went out and did the keynote for their brokerage. Real Living Key Real Estate, guys, it is a great organization. Matt and I were sitting at their awards dinner, and we kept on turning to each other like, really, they do that for them too? Really, they do that for them too? I mean, it was one thing after another. So again, publicly, guys, and privately, thank you. You guys are very awesome people. We're glad you're here, and your brokerage is amazing. We're glad that we could be a part of one event, hopefully more events with you guys. So we love you. We love you.
All right. Well, let's stop with that. I don't know if the petting was necessary, Greg. All right. So first of all, let's welcome in our very special guests, Misty and Neeley. How are you, ladies?
Great. Thanks. Thanks
Good.
for having us.
We are excited to have you here. Misty, I'm not even going to take a crack at trying to pronounce Misty's last name.
Weisenberger. Yeah.
Weisenberger. Okay. Yeah. Good. There was a lot of E's. There's a lot. That's what I know. There's a
lot
of E's in that name.
Johnson, can I buy a vowel for $200? I will take an E, please.
Yes, exactly. I'll solve the puzzle. All right. And then speaking of a lot of E's, Neeley Freeman. Hauser, something.
Yeah, that's a lot of E's.
Yeah, that's a lot of E's.
That's 5 versus 3.
So wait, Freeman is the I don't know. On Facebook, you're Neeley. Is it Hauser Freeman? Freeman Hauser?
Yeah, Hauser is the maiden name.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so Neeley Freeman. All right, so first of all, give us. We'll start with Neeley. How long have you been in the business?
Almost 4 years. It'll be 4 years in April.
And Misty, how about you?
Same. Neeley and I started just about the same time, so 4 years, January.
Nice. All right, awesome. So, Misty, you moved over, I think, first, right?
I did, yeah.
Okay. So, take me back a little bit. Like, where were you at as an agent, and what kind of sealed the decision for you to move over?
It's like I don't have any hard feelings from where I left, but it just wasn't the right fit for me, and I was realizing that about 1.5 years in. I just wanted a little bit more support, wanted a little bit more when it came to marketing and education and things like that. One of my girlfriends, she had gone over to Key already, and she said, I really think you should check them out, do your homework. I feel like knowing you and your personality, this would be a better fit for you. So I just kind of did my own homework and spoke to her a lot, and it was a no-brainer for me, really. I mean, I sat down with the broker. He said all the right things. I feel like probably what I had found was that a lot of people were over-promising and under-delivering, and that's kind of what I think I was getting. We were like the little guys, and I was new, so I wasn't getting much respect. And but I was still I was producing, I was putting numbers up. So um, I think after about a year in, I had proven myself, and they were listening a little bit more, but still nothing compared to what I'm getting now and the support I
Mhm.
have. Uh, Literally everything, our broker is family owned and operated, and literally everything they've promised, they've delivered on. Anything that Neely and I have asked for, we've received. Um, or, they started the ball rolling in the right direction to get us what we've asked for. So,
So a little bit, I want to go back on that for a second, Misty. You said that you weren't getting, you weren't getting what you were kind of wanted or needed at your previous brokerage. Was it just the support that you were looking for? Was it the education? I mean, what were you looking for now that you can look back on it, 4 years later? If you had like that crystal ball, you could go back to a brokerage and say, okay, brokerage, you really screwed the pooch, and this is where you did it. Where did they drop the ball? Because a lot of agents don't know what to ask for. They don't know what they need. So they're like, a hug on Monday mornings? Hot coffee? I mean, training? I mean, they don't know what they need. So what is it that you could say, this is what brokers need to provide to new agents?
I mean, the training we got it was pretty decent, but I wanted something more in-house too. Our brokerage location, we just didn't have the demographic to produce as much as some of the other brokerages, within the family. And so we were kind of outcast, not as important, I felt like. Uh, and things that we requested went unanswered, or in one instance, we actually got something that we asked for, but we were never even notified. And so, like, a marketing campaign was running, and we found
Really?
out after it was almost over, and we were like,
Wow.
"Wait, you're kidding me!" So,
Yeah. So
um,
communication definitely part of it.
a lot of
Yeah.
communication.
Well, nobody wants to feel like they're the redheaded stepchild.
Right,
Well,
and we kind
Right.
of did,
Yeah.
and it was an ongoing joke within our brokerage, and it's not, like I said, I started off, I did well. I obviously received some of the tools I needed, but it just wasn't the fit for me. And I love all those agents. I love my manager that I had there. Still have a good relationship. It's just where I'm at is home. Like, it's very much family oriented, like I said, family owned and operated, and just the emphasis on family. I'm a mom. I've got two girls, and uh, I really can't. I can only say all positive things.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. And so can
it's
we.
home. I'm not
yeah.
moving. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. And I would firmly believe you guys should never leave that brokerage, ever. Not even when a zombie apocalypse happens. You stay with that brokerage. There'll be lots of real estate to sell when the apocalypse takes place.
The zombie
Yeah,
apocalypse.
and they don't even have to go and recruit for new agents.
No.
They actually, agents come to them, or
Yeah.
they take it by referral basis only from agents in-house.
That's
If you had a
awesome.
transaction,
Yeah.
you liked that agent, would you recommend them to come to the brokerage? We'll call them if you want them here. And that's that. I mean, that's how they recruit. So,
Yeah, and that's definitely something that I wanted. I was hoping that would come out because in the other podcast that I run, which is more heavily focused on team building, and the Level Up podcast, obviously very much focused on being entrepreneurial and growing a team and maybe even a brokerage and all that stuff. Obviously, one of the things that we focus on is recruiting, and that's one of the questions that we get and that we hear from agents who are looking to build a team or they're looking to build their brokerages. They're always asking about recruiting, like how do you get agents in? How do you get agents in? How do you recruit? And what's interesting about what you guys experienced, and of course we got to see it firsthand, and it really drove the point home for me, which is I can totally see that happening. People leave those gatherings and they don't shut up about how great the brokerage is, and that's how you generate natural word of mouth recruiting, which ends up, I think, probably attracting the right type of people. Like you guys came not quite as a pair, but pretty close. And now
yeah.
you guys are both doing extremely well, but it was all word of mouth. You didn't have to recruit Neeley, that hard.
Right.
It's not like Neeley didn't have to get 10,000 recruiting calls and somebody, offering to have a confidential business conversation to get you to move over. So Neeley, I'm curious, like, take me back on your side. Just what was your experience of starting to hear these things, starting to hear how great this was, and why you ended up kind of pulling the trigger?
So I was in a little bit of a different situation because I was actually a manager at a hospital for almost 10 years. And I was super, super miserable at my job and doing real estate very part-time. Yeah, Greg knows. And so for me, the biggest thing for me was education. What is going to start the ball rolling right now? What's going to get me business, somewhat quickly? And I needed someone that invested in me and believed in me. And, the education was a big part of it. And, I'm not the smartest person in the world, but I mean,
calm that talk down over there.
I don't need someone to tell me, this is where you put the date on a purchase agreement. This is where the seller's names go. What I wanted to know is when I get in front of Matt and his wife and his 3, 10-pound babies or whatever it is, what do I say to them?
I love it.
What do I say?
Obese, wood-denting, insulin-sucking little trolls. Come
Matt and Julie. I'm sorry, Julie. No offense, Julie. Fake Julie. So, for me, it was, what do I say? What do I do when I'm in front of these people? And those are the kind of things that, when I met with my now current manager, I said to him, I don't want you to sit me down and show me how to fill out a purchase agreement. I can figure that out. What I want to know is when I'm talking to people, what are some ideas? What should I be saying? And our VP of Education, shout out to Brenda Lee, because I'm sure she'll watch this. She's phenomenal. Like, she's phenomenal. You guys met her. And she is so invested in agent education, and not just new agents, but senior agents and whatever, seasoned agents. She just really wants you to be the best you can be. And I think the biggest thing with our brokerage, which is something that is unique to us, every single time I meet with my manager, he says to me, what can I do for you? Mm-hmm. I never had that before. And that's the way they run their business. What can I do for you? And at first I was like, well, what do you mean? What can you do for me? I work for you. And they work for us. And even, right down to the office staff, we have the best admin staff there that takes such good care of us. They run the same way. What can we do for you? And it just creates a really nice atmosphere, and they're amazing. You guys got to see it, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did, and hopefully that's what we bring to the team that we're building, mostly in California and around the country. And yeah, I mean it's one of those things where it's a mentality and it's a value first kind of approach that yes. I think a lot of team leaders and brokers, it's very easy to lose sight of because we're so focused on just the numbers and like the next milestone that we want to hit, whether it's the next 100 deals or it's the next whatever. Right. It is kind of easy to lose sight of that. I mean, I know I do. Like I was just on the podcast earlier today, when our guest earlier was talking about how he individually motivates the different people on his sales team, and just really drove the point home to me that I don't spend enough time asking my own staff, like, hey, what do you want? Like, what gets you going? What gets you motivated? Like, is it when I, let you know that I really appreciate it, or I talk about you to other people on the staff or to other people in general? Is it cash bonuses? Like, if I plop $100 cash in your pocket, does that make a huge difference in your life that motivates you? Because everybody's different. And that's that approach of like just asking like, hey, what can I do? What can I do to support you? I think that's unfortunately lost on a lot of probably team leaders and brokers, and it's something and just leaders of any team, and we definitely need to do a much better job of that. And Greg, I'm going to start with you. Yeah. Greg, what can I do for you today?
Well, Matt, are we starting alphabetically or numerically?
Let's go with numerically, and let's keep it under 19. Thank you.
No. You don't dictate
25 things on my to-do list.
This is my list to you. It's like a Christmas gift.
I took care of your honey-do list from today. We had the wonderful
yes,
Gail Zentek is coming on the show. She's booked for the 26th. I got my part done for the day, so I'm done. I've done everything I need to do for Greg today.
Oh, yes, you did. Oh, man, that's funny. And you also got Mark all set up with the trainings and everything else, so we're good to go. What I really want to emphasize here, and I want to start talking a little bit more about in regards to what brokerages can do for newer agents and how to really help them thrive, is I think the one thing that both Key Realty really does and EXP does really well, they're agent centric, not broker centric.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to see more and more of a trend of that taking place in the coming months and years as the Gen Zers are coming out of college now, and they have had everything customized for them for their entire lives, down to their tennis shoes are customized, their social medias are customized, their Amazon accounts are customized. Everything's their taste, flavor, style, and color. So with these types of brokerages coming in, Key Realty and EXP, I think they're seeing that on the horizon, and they're starting to cater to that. And like Matt, you and I, we're very good friends. We're business partners, but we don't have the same taste in things. You have the way you want things to be done. I have the way things I want to be done. The same thing for Neeley and Misty. You guys are very close workers, but you guys aren't identical. You're not Bobsy twins, okay? And the agents and the brokers that see that and start training to that culture. So let's say, I don't know about Key Realty, but I know EXP, they do 25 to 35 35 hours of live training every single week on different subject matter. So it's hitting those niches. I'm sure that Brenda Lee and your upper management are doing the exact same thing. They brought me and Matt in, to do a speech for you guys because we kind of scratched an itch that the agents might have needed to have. Like I walked through the crowd and I showed everybody how to do, on their cell phones, how to do, video messages or audio messages from Facebook Messenger. People love that. So we help them out and train them on a specific area. So Neeley, when you were getting into the business, you and I had many conversations about this. And you know what? I finally kicked you square in the butt, and I said, either do it or don't do it. Stop fucking wasting my time. Go. You're going to be happier. But you know what? Sometimes people... It is true. I tell that story a lot.
That is the conversation. Yeah.
But the thing is that, but once you jumped, you were the number one agent in the office with 6 listings your first month. I mean, you crushed heads, and you continually do. Misty, you doing a ton of business. You missed your top goal by this much, and no fault of your own. You did the business. You got screwed on that one. But I mean, what would you tell to a first-time agent coming in? Not the brokerage. What would you tell them? Say, hey, look, guys, how not just to survive. How are you going to thrive? What would you tell someone their first month to do consistently? So, Misty, we're starting with you. What is something you'd say? Misty's like, deer in headlights. Oh shit! That was not in the notes, Greg. That was not in the notes.
Yeah, you didn't prep me for this. No. Honestly, just take in as much as you can. It's going to be extremely overwhelming, but watch the agents around you. Like what I did was obviously, like I said, I didn't have all the support from admin and things like that, but I watched the agents that were the top producers. I offered to do them favors just so I could get exchanged for important information. I wanted to model what they were doing. Imitation's best form of flattery, I guess. So that was because I, didn't have a lot of outlets available. So listen, read, just dive in as much as you can. Podcasts and, everything real estate related, right? Okay. So have your hands in everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that though. It's a lot easier to get a sense of how to do something by seeing it done by somebody else and then imitating them.
Yeah.
Rather than trying to just invent it out of whole cloth, out of a blank sheet of paper for yourself. And that is one thing that we could all do a better job of when a new agent comes in, is either pairing them up or some type of mentorship program. And some brokers and teams have done that and do a really great job at it.
Have a business plan. I think that's really important. You don't know what you want because you don't really know how the business runs, but have some goals in mind and write them down and read them every day because, that's just, you have to do that. You always have to keep it in front of your face. And, that would probably be my best advice, I guess, because there is a lot to learn and things constantly changing. So,
okay, so have a game plan. Know where you're going to be headed.
You'll learn to tweak it as you go, so it works best for you and your lifestyle, and
Perfect. Neeley, now you're on the hot seat. What would
I
you
mean,
recommend?
pretty much what Misty said. Just be hungry and.
Hear that reverb, Matt?
Yep, I got it.
Are we good?
Yep, we're good. Go ahead.
I could hear myself. I was like, wait a second, that's weird. I don't want to hear myself. Otherwise, I'll be like.
It's just Misty. She's making fun of you.
So, no, I think just being hungry for the business and, like Misty said, going out and just getting information wherever you can. we are actually, our brokerage is getting ready to start one of those mentorship programs that you were talking about, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, they had talked about it, but it's something that I really pushed for because I think it's so important. Like I said, I mean, people are not stupid. They can figure out how to fill out a purchase agreement for the most part. They don't need you to tell them where to put the client's names and the date. What they need is someone to take them on a listing appointment and show them, this is how I speak to them. These are the things I say. These are the things I take note of. And, I guess if there was one really big thing I could say, and it's something that goes with your guys' podcast and something that changed my business dramatically, it's always come from a place of value. Always. I don't care if you're brand new to the business and you don't think you have anything to offer, because that was my issue. I kept telling Greg, well, what am I going to offer? I'm brand new to the business. People don't want to hear me talk. And he's like, but they do. And it's true. I think you always have to come from a place of value. You'll be so surprised what that'll do for your business.
It is, bless and prosper before receiving is something that the Grand Master has taught me since I was a knee high to a grasshopper. Didn't listen to him for 90% of my life, but now I am, and it's paying off quite nicely. But it's one of those things that, Matt and I, when we started this podcast, we're like, who's going to listen to us? Why are we doing this? And basically, Matt and I just wanted to fuck around and have some fun and laugh at each other and see if we could do this, and apparently it worked out pretty well. But, I mean, just like every other agent out there, when you feel that you don't have the content, you don't have the value, you don't have it, whatever that it is in your marketplace, you have to understand that you have a very valuable skill set that people are going to latch onto. And if you consistently plug yourself into knowledge-based activities, reading, watching, writing, learning, changing your friends' environment to people that are going to help you grow, not take you away from your goals. I mean, I think it can really benefit. I mean, you two are very good together because you sharpen each other. You encourage each other. When someone's a dick, you're like, that guy's a dick. Or that chick's a dick. And I got a double on that one.
Yeah.
Hey, Misty, if you're Misty, it's the reverb is coming from your side, so I don't know if you're watching, if you have the live feed pulled up, or if you can pull up, either close that out or plug some earbuds in, and that will help. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep you muted when you're not talking. But yeah, that's where that's coming from. But yeah, it's as far as the lesson that I think people can take away from this is that the culture does absolutely matter, and if you have the right culture, if you get it right, you're going to attract the right people, not only into your life, but if you're a team leader, you're going to attract the right agents to you that are attracted to that culture and that fit that culture. And that if you are not attracting those types of people, or if you're attracting the wrong types of people, the first place to look is the culture that you've created and what you're doing on a daily basis. I mean, Greg, you and we can speak to just how difficult it is to train and interact with the same group of people on a daily basis in an effort to make them more successful, right? Mm-hmm. To give them a system, to give them accountability, to give them coaching, to help them reach the goals that they've set for themselves, right? Because we're all, we all have our moments where we just don't want to do what we committed to doing. And it's nice, or we just get discouraged. And it's nice to have somebody to lean on. And Misty and Neil, you guys have not only yourselves to lean on, but you have your brokers and the whole culture that they've created there, because they've created that culture that supports that. And so if you're a team leader or broker listening to this, if you want to build a team, even if you just have an assistant, you don't know it, but you have a culture. You have a culture even if you're just a solo agent. You have a culture that you live in every day. And you can do things to make that more supportive for yourself so that you can have a higher standard of performance in your business. But let's get back, Neil. I'm curious, Neeley, what's kind of the next steps for you and your business, kind of moving forward? Obviously, we're around we're going into the second month of the year. You had a great year last year. You got honored with an award at the whole banquet dinner. That was awesome to actually be there to see that. But what are some of the things that you're going to work on this year to just get to the next level?
I kind of felt like you guys should be proud dads when I got that award. Because I was like, hey, no, that's a good question. So for me, I have a goal of doubling my business and doubling my units. And I sat down and kind of did a game plan of what I'm looking for, a business plan. And then really, I'm kind of stepping outside the box and doing some different things. I joined Rockstar Connect just yesterday, actually. So I'm going to start
awesome.
that. I'm super, super excited about that. Something that I found from Greg. So thank you. And, I'm looking to grow my business. 4 years, it seems like a long time in the business, but there's still so much for me to learn. And, I'm looking to get more into an educator role too. I like doing things like that. So for me, I'm just kind of exploring all my options there.
Okay. Uh-oh. Neela's going to start her own podcast. God help us all.
All right,
Okay.
There goes our ratings.
Yeah.
All right,
You would
Misty.
listen.
I just gave you a compliment. I just said there goes our ratings. Like you're going to take our audience, jackass.
Oh, man. All right.
Those are good things.
Misty, let's turn to you. What is the next step for you?
For me, I'm excited. Our new office is going to be opening where it's under construction right now, and Neeley and I get to work together out of the same office. So I'm pretty excited just to have her and see her on a daily basis, and really just focusing on growing my sphere this year. It's been very good to me so far, but I need to reach out farther. Looking into doing the Rockstar Connect events with Neeley, and also doing, like going through Meetup, just networking even more. So.
Very cool. And tell me a little bit about, like, you've had some experience doing like relocation deals where you essentially kind of have the business fed to you in a sense that you get like a lead or someone that's close to an appointment in exchange for a pretty big chunk of the commission, which I know a lot of agents, if they're not already working deals like that, are very curious about that, because it seems like a good deal because it kind of takes off some of the work of finding somebody from scratch. But what's been your experience working relo deals?
Yeah, I mean, they come in, they're fed to me. I'm still competing against other agents if it's a listing, even on the buy side as well. It's great. It's not for everyone. I am really just passion driven for helping people. So the paycheck isn't as big of a deal to me when it comes to that. I mean, some agents are going to say no way because your commission cut is insane. But, as far as that goes, I just really love to help people. And we have the big three here where they're constantly moving and relocating their engineers. So if you take care of them, they might be coming back. And when they request you, well, then you don't pay quite as much to the relocation company and your broker. So,
Gotcha.
When my father started in business, he had the biggest IBM account in Boulder, Colorado. He handled all the IBM transfers, and he also handled we have Chevron, is a big company right down the road from us here, and he handled the relo account for them for a decade or something. Handled everybody from the janitor to the president of Chevron. It's a great source of income. Yeah, they kind of rape you on your commissions, but it's a what? No lube.
Well, that's what I wanted to push back against, Greg, because here's the deal. You didn't have to find the client, for God's sake. That cuts off a significant amount of work. I mean, we've talked about this, Greg, before. Like, if you generate a lead to somebody, for the most part, in business, a lead that you didn't have to. Now, granted, Misty, you talk about like competing, right? You're competing, like you're going into a sense where, yeah, you're going in, you have an appointment, but they might meet with somebody else. But even just how much time and effort and potential cost you didn't have to spend to get that appointment, that's what the 25 or 30% referral fee is in exchange for, and the fact that you didn't have to pay them up front for them to try to generate those leads to you. So it's not that, I think it's just funny, Greg, you talk about being raped on the commission, but the bottom line is it's a zero risk, and that people will pay to eliminate the risk. You can go out and build those relationships yourself. I mean, who was it? I think Jenny Wallach is probably the best example. She was on the show last year, and she's made a concerted effort to go out and build relationships with local businesses who do bring people in, and they all kind of have an agreement to promote each other and share each other's services with their social media audiences and things like that. But she's looking to get kind of a commitment from each of them to send a referral to her from someone in their social circle, and then she, vice versa, makes an attempt to get a referral out of her database over to them. And so, I mean, you can certainly generate like relo style deals from scratch. I mean, it's just about relationship building. I mean, some of the bigger ones, like Misty, you're working with huge companies. Yeah, I mean, they may have already have deals in place, but that's not to say you can't go after smaller companies that do have that kind of influx. But yeah, so it's not. I just want people to be aware that there is, like, for those types of deals, you're having zero cost, you're not, and zero risk. And for a while, like Misty, it was worth it for you for a while, and you may still do some, but maybe it's not a big part of your business plan for this year, right?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I still enjoy doing them. I mean, they are a little bit more work than your traditional transaction. The relocation company wants constant updates, and you're doing broker analysis, and it's like, a few hours, and that there's no way of really shortening it up. And so it's a lot more paperwork, but if I can build the longevity out of it, if they're talking to everybody, GM is one that we do a lot for. So if they're talking to a lot of the other coworkers that they have, then, like I said, you can make a request for a relocation agent, and your split's a little bit better at that point. And you're definitely not competing at that point because they've requested you. So as long as I just leave everybody, feeling well taken care of, I just am looking at karma to be, paying it back to me.
Yeah, love it.
Greg? Yeah, I'm just not a fan. I just bend over a barrel is not my style. It is a way to build your business. But it is something that because you don't have to pay referrals on the client's client. So when you have the open house or, their friend referral, you don't have to pay off of that. So I think what Misty's doing is a genius way to get that business going. But I mean, I was always taught to, the hard prospecting and everything else. So I was willing to put the risk out there because I didn't know any other way. I really didn't know any other way to generate any business for myself. And I just feel bad. I mean, Misty works her tail feathers off, and you missed that award by this much. And you did the business to get it too. I mean, don't get me wrong. You did the business to get it. I don't know. It's just something that if you guys want to look into it, just be aware they're going to take 35 to 40 years. They tried to take 45% from us one time, and we're like, no. We'll pay you 35 or, have a nice day. And they gave us the 35 and walked on. But I mean, in big, industrial neighbor areas like Detroit, where there are massive organizations, it is a very viable source of business. But I mean, you've got to have a company that's vetted. You have to go through the company has to go through these different processes to be even in the running for this stuff. But it also comes back to you networking and doing the hard leg workout, networking and hanging out with the people in the company so that they can request you to be the referral agent. I mean, that's another part that you can run. I mean, Neeley, did you ever get into that at all?
No. I will tell you, Misty's not going to talk about herself, and that's fine, but she actually was approached by our broker to do relo. So this isn't something that she, was standing in line to do, but they, when you're going up against other agents, it's actually a compliment to her because they approached her and said, listen, we think you're someone who can hold your own and go up against these other agents. And I mean, some of the agents she's going up against in our area, they're very well known, on every street corner and, whatever. And so, I mean, really it's a compliment to her. It's, she was asked to do that and she did it, but I've not done relo. After seeing what she kind of goes through, I'm not staying in line raising my hand. If I was asked, just because I know my broker will watch this, I would for sure do it, but I'm not staying in line, raising my hand. So.
Yeah. No.
Do you see yourself doing relo for a long period of time? Is this going to be a staple in your business, do you think?
I think I'll end up, if it's needed. I'm not going to leave them in need for somebody because they do have a lot that comes through. And like I said, it's not for everybody. So when our head of relo calls, like, I adore her, and she'll say, Misty, I need a favor, please. Like, I know you're busy, but please help me out here. And, I'm not going to let her down ever. We're family, we're a team. So yeah, I'll make a way, to handle it. But cool. I'd like to try to at least just focus on my own sphere, my own business. But yeah, I'm not going to say no to them.
Right. Well, that's why we love you guys, because you guys are absolutely just giving-hearted human beings. You know what, Matt? Do we have an opportunity? Do we have any questions from the LGSO? We can do a little round robin with our two guests and throw something at them and see what they can do. A hot potato.
Yeah. Hot potato. So we've got this is a question from Freddie. Says, I have a list of old Zillow and Trulia leads that I'd like to touch base with. Does anyone have a short script or give a hand on what to say? And I'd really appreciate it. So these are older
ahead,
leads
Greg.
that just general lead follow. Yeah, exactly. Let's all throw it to Greg.
So basically, they want a script on how to handle old leads.
Yeah, older leads.
Older leads, how old? Do we have an idea?
We do not.
Okay, let's say that they're in the internet world. I mean, a day it's an old lead because within 5 minutes they're already tracked off to somebody else. Let's say they're a month old. So we're talking like Stone Age, like living in cage, beating saber-tooth tigers with clubs old. Something I would start with would be to own to the fact that you suck at follow-up and say, hey, Matt, Julie, you're three obese little wood-denting, insulin-sucking little troll babies. Hey, I'm so sorry. I tried to reach out to you a couple of times. My apologies. We never connected. I'd love to speak with you. I know that you guys are interested in buying a home here in Detroit, and just wanted to see if you guys are you're still thinking about buying it, or if you have found something. If you have found something, just give me a ring back and let me know either way, because I'll be calling you every day until I hear back from you, just so that I can give you the level of service you deserve. All right, thanks so much. It's Greg, 925-915-1978. Talk to you soon. Click. So you establish the fact that you sucked at follow-up, and you apologize for doing that. Then you ask for the business by saying, hey, look, I would love to, I'd love to work with you guys if you haven't already purchased something. Then you put the pain out there of saying, look, I'm going to fucking stalk your ass every day until you pick up the phone. So all you have to do is call me back and tell me no or tell me yes, and I can make the pain stop. It's like waterboarding, but for real estate leads.
You heard it here first, folks. Waterboard your leads with Greg McDaniel.
That's when you show waterboarding your leads. But I mean, you're gonna get a response from them because if you call them 5 days in a row, they'll be like, "What?" Be like, "I just wanted to see if you wanted to still buy." "Yes, I still want to buy." "Great, let's go look at something." Or, "No, we already bought something." "Okay, no problem." Check the box off, then move on, trash the lead, and go. It'll save your time. But I mean, in all honesty, guys, if you want to avoid this whole scripting issue, I would strongly recommend that you guys would just go follow up with your leads on a persistent and consistent basis. And again, I am the poster child for not doing that last year. I'm definitely doing it this year, and I'm seeing already in the 7th of February, I'm seeing a very positive resurgence of the leads in my own business, of being very positive for me reaching out. So, Misty, since Neeley ran in fear for answering this on live because she ducked off somehow, hot potato to you. How would you handle Greg, Matt, and Julie and their three obese little babies? We're a lead on Zillow, and you didn't call them. Sinner. Yeah, bad.
I would say I handle it similarly to you. I just reach out, apologize. Like, I'm very sorry that I didn't touch
Run the
base
script with me.
sooner.
Run the script with me. Run the script with me. Come on.
I am not the best one to ask because, like, I'm very.
You're going to do great. Come on.
No, I'm just saying, like, I don't chase a lot of the leads like that. I focus mainly on my sphere. So I don't like calling FSBOs, don't like calling expireds. When I get the leads coming through, usually I don't get them because other agents snatch them up so quick in our office because we do have the lead gen coming through. But, I just reach out and tell them, hey, I'm here. My name's Misty Weisenberger. I work full-time in your area. I got the lead coming in, and sorry, there's something coming through my. I just let them know. Like, I'm awful at this. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I'm brutally honest. I just reach out to them, let them know, like, buyer lead. I can take you to go look at it. Have you obviously ask them pre-approved, but I don't push that. I mean, I'll show them 1 or 2 houses. I feel like you have to build that rapport before you can just say. There's a lot of agents out there that will not show them a house at all. So sometimes I'm quick to take them and show them. I know it's not the best method, but if I am able to, I show them, and then that way when I get face-to-face with somebody, I'm so much better than over the phone. So much better. So I'd rather get them in front of me and talk to them, let them know what I'm about, answer any questions they have. And so I'll take them, show them a house before they are pre-approved. I'm okay with that.
Okay. Matt, how would you
So-
handle that? I mean, you were, wait a minute, Neely's back. Now she gets to go into the gun.
Did I get kicked off? Did I say something wrong?
Yeah, you got the buzzer.
Yeah, all the above.
All right, so the question goes to you. Missy gave us a very good
Right.
explanation of what she would do with that,
Oh,
with the
great.
old
I
leads.
didn't hear it.
Well, that's
Oh,
a
good.
bummer
Now
for
you can't
you.
copy her. You can't say,
Yeah.
"Oh, I would say the same thing as Misty." Oh.
Yeah, like you did
Yeah.
before,
Yeah.
cheater.
With the
Okay,
old
so
lady?
so Zillow lead is a month old, and you called them a couple of times, haven't connected, and you found them in your stack of leads, and you're like, oh shit, I never got a definitive answer. What's your ring? What's your script gonna be to Matt, Julie, and his 3 obese little insulin sucking wood denting babies? God, forget how
I
many.
mean, I guess
problems
I've
we
been
have here.
watching the podcast for too long because I would pretty much do what you just said. I would call and apologize for being crappy agent and acknowledge that and just kind of go from there. Say that you're going to promise that you're going to do a better job moving forward. And, but I think you first need to address the elephant in the room, which is that you sucked for a hot second, but you won't do it anymore.
I love it.
Hot second.
And I promise I'm going to do a much better job of keeping in touch. It sounds like it's directly pulled from Frank Klezis' follow-up emails to your database. I love it. All right. So there's another couple of questions here that I think we can cover in the meantime. There's a couple actually about websites, and somebody was asking on the lead gen scripts and objections group if they should go with a WordPress site. I personally, I would very much discourage that. I know there's a lot of agents that look to, like, maybe in a past life you built websites, and that's cool, but unless that's you, I would go with one of the lead generation solutions that are out there that are kind of all in one. Playster is very, very inexpensive to start with. If you want to start with something more robust right off the bat, there's a lot of great people that go with Real Geeks. Real Geeks works all the way up to like the team level. Greg Harrelson runs all of his stuff in Myrtle Beach, where they just did 2,400 deals last year.
Good Lord,
They
did?
use Real Geeks for their sites.
Holy Christ.
2,400 deals.
That's
Wow. That's a lot of deals.
Zilza.
Yeah. That, you don't, the word doesn't stop at deals. It goes on for like another 17 syllables of the word a with h's after it. Deals. So Real Geeks works really well. I mean, if you're in a position where you're asking what site you should build, you should not be building it. You should be going to one of the solutions that are out there. I'm curious, Misty and Neeley, what do you guys use for your websites for just your personal business?
Playster.
Playster?
I use
Nice.
Playster. Yep.
Awesome. Perfect.
Which
All
I
right.
got from you guys.
Probably found out about from the show, I'm guessing. Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like you're not really needed here, if we're being honest, Matt, because I could totally do your job. So, hey, what brings you here?
I
Give
love
me
it.
a 30-second bio
This is
of
great because I'm
yourself.
actually very hungry right now. So I'm gonna leave, and we're gonna let you finish out the show. How about that?
I'm kidding.
So-
No, but here's the thing. You guys were supposed to talk about how we're such, dedicated listeners of the show. We're doing all this talking about us, but why can't we flip that around and talk about you guys for a second?
And take the lead,
Okay.
Neely. Go.
Okay, fine.
We shall listen.
So,
Go. Why are we awesome?
okay.
Go,
I
tell
know they
us,
won't,
please.
I know they won't talk about themselves, but
No, we won't.
so actually for our conference, the keynote speaker either canceled or wasn't returning phone calls. I'm not sure. So Misty, had said, let's bring them out here. And I just want to tell you guys, for anyone that's listening, they absolutely made it rain. They were so wonderful. They were so engaging. Yes, I know. And it's awkward to hear that about yourself, but it's
Yes,
true.
it
They
is.
did a really good job. It was awesome to meet them in person. They are just as crazy as they are on the show in person. And
Now let's be honest about who we is. We are crazy.
Look, Cookie Monster.
Okay.
We know who devours the cookies.
Mm-hmm.
Greg is just as crazy as he is on the show.
Thank you.
But it was nice to bring them on to kind of pick their brain. And people were coming up to them. We were the lucky ones. We had them sit at our table for dinner, and people were coming up to them and just telling them, thank you. Thank you for bringing these ideas that are outside of the box and, just basically, telling us to get out of our own head. Go out there and do it. What do you have to lose? So if you're thinking about having speakers out to your broker conference event or something, you would be stupid not to bring them out. They did a wonderful job.
I'm going to cry.
Thank you. That was
I cried.
totally unsolicited and unnecessary, but we thank you.
Yes, that was.
But it's true. It's true. And, you guys don't market yourselves, and you bring all these people on here and you talk about how wonderful they are. But, in the same respect, you guys, you do a lot. And, I told you guys that you've totally changed my business. And that all came from the mindset of not being a loser agent. I was the agent when I first started. I was putting all my listings on Facebook, asking everyone to share it. What? That's so
Big
lame.
no.
So lame. And, and Greg, you even told me how lame I was. So thank you for that. But it's just totally changed my business. Now I'm leading with value. I've started, the first time I did a Facebook Live, I was like, and now I do them regularly, and people are reaching out to me and talking to me about them. And I'm challenging people in my office, you do a Facebook Live. People want to hear what you have to say. So I don't know, you guys bring a lot of benefit, and I'm super grateful for you guys.
Well, thank you. That means the world to both of us, and I mean, right back at you guys. I mean, you guys have stuck with us for 3 years. Hopefully you stick with us for another 20.
Yeah, you've gotten a lot better.
Oh God, yeah. Oh, we were horrible in the beginning.
Yeah.
Horrible. Hot mess dumpster fire is what I think what Matt referred to us as one time. But it was challenging. But this goes back to being a new agent, guys. Whenever you try something new for the first time, you're not going to be the best in the business. You can't compare yourself to the top agent or the top team and be like, oh man, why can't I be like X, Y, and Z team or X, Y, and Z human being? They have done time on task. They've put their licks in. They've got their butt kicked. They've lost out. They've done dumb shit. They've done what you're going to do. So you have to embrace the journey of your business as a new agent. When Matt and I started the podcast, we didn't know what we were doing. Go back and watch the first episode. First off, what was going on with my hair? I don't know. Matt actually let me lead it. That was horrible.
Oh yeah, that was a big mistake.
That
and faux hawks.
Just before he knew you, Greg.
That's right, exactly.
But I mean, my point is this that you guys, Misty and Neeley didn't know what they were doing when they first started. They're now very successful. They each got multiple awards at their award show. Their fellow agents really like them, which is kind of nice in this business that the other agents actually like you. But they didn't know where they were going to land, but they just went. They started. They had a goal. But they also needed a swift kick in the taint every once in a while, which I deliver to Neeley on a consistent basis. And now Misty, whenever she needs it, just kick in the butt. Let's go. I kicked Neeley in the butt yesterday. And it's that trusted individual, not your spouse, maybe not your broker, but someone else out there that you know has your back, that can push you on those uncomfortable times. Because if I can do it, if they can do it, if Matt can do it in his business, we all started out like little babes in the world. We had, came out naked and crying. We had no idea where we were going, but this is not a shitty situation compared to where we were just a few minutes ago. And Matt's shaking his head. I love it when he does that because I know that I'm getting just under his skin just a little bit to the point where he has to show physical irritation. But guys, just start. Just start educating, start growing, and you will get to where you want to go. But don't compare yourself to everyone around you. If you do that, you'll be ultimately disappointed. And stop watching Facebook how great every other agent is. That's a highlight reel. Keep that in mind. Look at reality. So on that note, Matt, I will not physically irritate you any longer.
Yeah, we actually presented Matt with an award when he was here in Detroit. It was an award for dealing with Greg.
And it was a big, hefty reward.
It was.
I think it was an old-fashioned, if I remember right.
Yeah.
You need more of these in your life. Here, more alcohol for dealing with Greg.
Dick.
All right. So first of all, Neeley and Misty, thank you. And Misty, how do people connect with you if they want to keep you guys in mind for referrals? I want you to both let people know what the best way is to connect with you guys and Key Realty.
I can be reached on my cell phone, 586-823-9608. Facebook page, just at my name.
Mm-hmm.
Email Misty at keyrealty, KEErealty.com.
Perfect. And Neeley?
Well, one important thing that we did not talk about. I am actually the president of the Real Estate Uncensored fan club, so you can always hit me up that way.
Oh,
you can hit me up there.
Oh, that's right. On the fan page.
Yeah, there's a misconception that Matt and Greg own that page, but it's actually my page.
It is hers. It is.
Yes,
it is hers.
We did not set that up ourselves, actually.
So you can hit me up there. You can find me in there, but you can call me 586-203-7384 or email me Neeley.freeman@gmail.com.
Perfect.
Awesome, guys. This was a lot of fun, which we knew it would be. This was kind of an off-the-cuff, like, hey, let's all jump on Facebook Live and do this episode. So we appreciate you guys being good sports. And Greg, anything that you would like to send us out on as far as how to connect with you?
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Hey, Matt and I, it's not a secret, Matt and I are starting, or I have started a EXP national team. We want to work with and connect with top, just good human beings that want to just absolutely grow their business to the highest levels possible. They want to, give first and get in the back in regards to, give value to people. And so if you want to make three lines of income, you guys can make your commissions, you can make your stock, and you can get some paid off your team members when they come into your team. Guys, passive, right now business, and future income with EXP. Let us show you how you can do that. There's a laundry list of what Matt and I bring as a value add on top of what EXP does. So it is a ton of training and a ton of products that we're going to throw at you guys at no cost when you join our team. And all of your team members that join below you in our group, they get the exact same benefits. So to talk about joining our team, guys, please go to bookmcdaniel.com. If you're watching, it is right next to my name right now. If you're listening to this, please go to bookmcdaniel.com, book 30 minutes, and we'll get some time to talk. But if you are working with another sponsor in EXP, do not contact me. Contact your sponsor out of ethics. Otherwise, please reach out. I'd love to get to know you. I'd love to meet you and see if this is right for you. If it is, dude, 2 thumbs up. If it's not, dude, 2 thumbs up. Either way, thanks for watching. We want to make sure this information is valuable to you and you guys can grow your business. And go stalk Matt. Let me give you his phone number. It's 402. It really is.
No, thank you. If you guys would like to get a time on my calendar for a very specific purpose, which is if you are really in need of some guidance and you're maybe considering one of the coaches that we've had on the show, or maybe one of the programs that we've mentioned or promoted, or whatever the case is, a vendor that we've talked about like Rockstar Connect, and you're just not sure kind of what the next step is for you, just grab 15 minutes on my calendar at 15.bookjohnson.com. It's super limited, obviously. I would love to do more of these, but I can only do a couple a week, so bear with me. If you guys go check my calendar, it might be for a week or 2 out, but I'm happy to chat with you and just help in any way that I can, steer you in the right direction, give you an opinion on maybe who you'd resonate with the most, if it's a coach or if it's a training program, if I think it's right for you, because I'm, for the most part, know what the content of these programs are, and I can kind of help match you to the right thing. So if you want to do that, go to 15.bookjohnson.com. That is all we have. Greg, shall we put a nice little bow upon the show?
We shall. And Neeley, I believe, is going to do the honors for us to end our show today.
All right,
so,
guys.
Neeley, what do we do?
Peace out, ninjas.